Alright, I gotta turn... Okay, that's already on, never mind. It's one of those exhausting days. Much exhaust. Huh. Weird. I got this friend request from somebody I do not recognize on Discord. I'm probably not going to accept it until I do some research. Because that's fucking weird. Not any, like, mutual servers at all. Fucking... Anyway. I haven't done an audio test yet. If y'all can hear me, let me know. Or... You just sort of... Yeah, okay, that works fine. Cool. Time to... get this. Shared in my server. Here. Then yep, there we go. I like how Discord warns you when you're tagging a lot of people. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you really sure about this? I'm gonna practically guilt trip you. Alright, now that I'm done shilling my bullshit in various places. Alright. Hello, Valor. Hello, Jess. Oh, I tagged you in the server just now because I didn't see you in chat there yet. Also, how's the, y'all let me know how the image quality is. Because it says that it's, like, it's too low for YouTube. But I haven't noticed any, you know, awful fucking bitrate issues. It says that it needs to be, like, 3 times this high. Recommended bitrate for what? Like, streaming HD XXX? Anyway, hello, Valor, Jester, LeBarimer. I'm gonna get a few bites in here. Jester says, it looks fine to me, but I'm on phone with low brightness. Yeah. Fucking post-Thanksgiving beans, cheese, turkey, and rice bowl. Just got done with my workout, so I definitely need to eat. I'm gonna try to work this to where I'm not eating on camera. Because that has to be gross for at least some people. Alright. So, I have it on live chat. Hello to 5 concurrent viewers. That's more than normal. So this week was fucking interesting, to say the least. I didn't put anything out, but for those of you who were around for it, I did have a 3+ hour stream regarding the victory of fascist favorite Javier Milei. So that happened, and it went as well as can be expected, because even though I had all the facts, there was some, like, very, very much white energy that did not understand the words that were coming out of people's mouths. Like, I still remember distinctly this one part of the stream where I I brought up Javier Milei's political platform, and it literally has the word, like, militarizacion in it. That's militarization. You don't need to even translate it. You can read it. And for people to act like that's anything other than what it is truly fucking hilarious. So I held their feet to the fire, and I like literally had this motherfucker's platform up, and the fact that he's gonna dollarize, the fact that he's gonna, make Argentina into what amounts to a Latin American vassal state. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have that guy. Maybe we shouldn't have that guy as our hero. Literally, there are people who are tweeting around pictures of this guy in a yellow and black cringe ass fucking superhero outfit, pretending that he's some like glorious ANCAP superhero. And one of the great things about it is that the one of the images of this is like a fake comic book cover, and somebody more familiar with it than me reminded me that the comic book authority that this image was using as part of its approved thing was like basically a propaganda arm and highly censorious. So it's like, congratulations, yeah, that's actually a pretty good symbol to put on a Javier Milei comic book cover, painting him out to be a superhero when what he really is somebody who talks to his dead dogs about policy, the dogs he named after the Chicago Boys who helped Augusto Pinochet, who he praised as the person who turned it around after Allende, and he's a fascist who literally has militarization of the economy and society as like a plank in his transition period. So, no, in fact, I do not celebrate this as an anarchist victory, because it is not an anarchist victory. He's not anarchist. He doesn't like leftists, and that's all some fake anarchists need to claim that he's an anarchist. Some anarchists who think that all it amounts to in terms of anarchy is, I don't like commies. And newsflash, the first anarchists and political libertarians were commies. They were ANCOMs. So, the whole idea that they're mutually exclusive, or that hating commies means you're an anarchist, no the fuck it doesn't. Especially when you support state capitalism and outright fascism in the form of Pinochet and his Nazi fucking Colonia Dignidad. So, no, in fact, he's not a fucking libertarian. In fact, what Javier Milei literally supports is the increasement of the surveillance state. He wants to put cameras fucking everywhere. And he wants to do that while also making it easier to lock up minors, and also lowering a variety of other thresholds for locking people up, making public-private prison partnerships, and then taking away the meager pay that prisoner laborers already get, which means that he's going to be a fascist employing prison slave labor in order to get his way. That's not libertarian. That's fascism. And you can't be both. It's literally impossible. So, I fucking hate these people. If you hate these people, smash like. It really helps in the algorithm. Fucking... like, I hate these. I hate it. I hate the fact that it's, like, common knowledge to anybody who's looked into it. To anyone who's read Ben Norton's very based thread, or even watched his video on it. You can just do that if you want. And so many people who haven't hate me for being against Javier Milei, and it's like, fuck you, fuck off. I do not care. And then, like, some people are celebrating because he's like gonna take the current publicly owned companies and make them worker owned. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe what he's doing there is designed to get them onto a platform with the WEF and IMF, and he wants these worker-owned businesses to be much more pliable for, like, sort of absorption into the globalist panopticon, because that's the thing he's doing. He's going to dollarize the economy right before the CBDC, which means Argentina will become a vassal state of the United States. Everybody who actually looked into it knows this. Like, economists who have studied the effects of dollarization have reliably been able to prove that it makes your country a vassal state for the United States. He doesn't oppose central banks because he wants to tear down his. If he also wants to make the country's central bank the biggest central bank in the world. That doesn't work. But it doesn't need to work because the people who support him don't care if it works or not. They just care that he doesn't like leftists, that he's willing to call them shit leftists. He's a politician that cusses at the lefties. That's all we need. He's a politician that doesn't like trans people. He's a politician who's anti-woke, and that's all we need. Hey, actually, wait, I didn't do that right. I need, He's a politician who's anti-woke, and that's all we need. Yeah! Fucking sucks. It sucks so much. So, yeah, I hate this. I hate the fact that this is what passes for libertarians these days. It should be unacceptable to anybody who's actually studied the effects of the state. I was having a conversation with a guy named John Pregen on Facebook right before this got started. And, like, we were both chopping it up about how basically they don't care about any of the things that they claim to care about. They don't care about trad enough to pick a tradition. They don't care enough about Western values to prove what they like about them, and that it's not just going to lead to an expansionist empire. They don't care about jack fucking shit other than they don't like the wokes. Like, it's just branding. It's just commodification. These people are buying a product on a shelf and they think that makes them radical. It's so fucking lame. Anyway, I'm gonna actually engage with my audience. Got comments in the chat. If you want to leave a comment, I will definitely address it in the chat. Valor says, how are you? I am reasonable. Jester says, hi, hello. Liberimer, the boys got Chauvin. Yeah, and, you know, for all the people who want to tell me that this is attempted murder, that, you know, this is an injustice, well, it looks like a fentanyl overdose to me. So, that's my take. I think Chauvin suffered a fatal fentanyl overdose. He's on his way out. What a shame. Valor says, everything is fine. Oh, I guess that was in response to me, asking. Jester says, it looks fine to me, but I'm on phone with low brightness. Good to hear. Liberimer says, what do you think about the boys getting Derek Chauvin? I guess I already answered that. When libertarianism just means hating the left, so then we get to throw the LGBT and POC, the Jews, etc. under the bus and throw commies out of helicopters to remind everyone how free we are. Absolutely, yeah. Like that's definitely what freedom looks like. These people are evil. They're just fucking ghouls. I hate them so fucking much. Dead Boy Speedy, hello. That's one of the new server members. If y'all want into the server, feel free to let me know. This reactionaryism is what it means to know what you're against without knowing what you're for. Yeah, like it's like, and that's the thing. It's when you become the gestalt of your enemy can lead you around by doing the opposite. So they can lead you around, make you do what they want you to, just by doing the thing that you are going to do the opposite of. It's like having a leash on, but thinking that you don't have one. It's so fucking, like, if you're not going to stand on principles, don't pretend to have any, and certainly don't join a party that's the party of principles, and allegedly, and certainly don't claim to have more principles than that party by claiming to be anarchist. You're none of that. You're not a libertarian or an anarchist if all you are is a left hater. Jester says, isn't he that cop who killed George Floyd? Yeah. Valor says, I went to an eye doctor today. I might have glaucoma and I need to see a doctor next week and might need surgery. I'm nervous. I'm getting prescription glasses soon. Hope that goes well for you. Just remember, it's all about relaxation, because eye surgery is one of those things where they need to do that while you're awake. So, you know, if they do it, it'll be fast and something that they have to do while you're awake, so just remain relaxed. Here's to pulling for the idea that you won't have to have surgery, though. Yeah. So, like, basically, when they do eye surgery, they need to make sure that your eye is focused forward and not moving around. So they'll put a paralytic in your eye and keep you awake. And you can't feel it. It's not like it's like they're sticking a needle in your eye, essentially. And it's a very, very small needle guided by a very precise camera. If I'm right. I might, honestly, I should look into what they do for glaucoma, but I know they do this for a variety of other surgeries. And they just need your eye to be open and you to be awake. Like, you're very much awake for the process a lot of these times. Let me, glaucoma surgery. Awake. Yeah. In general, you can expect the following during your trabeculectomy. You may be awake during the surgery. You will receive medicine to help you relax. You may also receive an injection or an anesthetic to numb the eye, if that's what you get. And National Eye Institute.gov says, usually you'll be awake during this surgery, but you'll get numbing medicine and medicine to help you relax. You can usually go home the same day. Like, it's a relatively normal occurrence. So it might be, that might make it worse, but it happens so many times. If it happens, you'll probably be fine. Jester says, nah, I'd rather pass away than get it while awake. Well, understandable. But, I mean, it's better than being blind. Jester says, I had a botched surgery once. Sorry to hear that. Dead Boy Speedy says, here's the thing that some of these people fail to mention. Is that not every LGBT person shares the ideology of the wokies they despise. Yeah, well, and also, so what if they do? Like, these people don't know the woke ideology. They even just call it woke when it's not that. Like, the vast majority of people who say woke are right-wingers. And they're just calling it general, term. Woke was originally a black thing. Like, knowing that the, white supremacist structure and white supremacist groups exist. That was originally a black thing. It wasn't an LGBT thing to begin with. And even if it becomes that, what? It means admitting that there are certain structures in society that oppress LGBT people? Well, if your next response is to falsely call all of them groomers, have your institutional powers threaten to eradicate them, and then, use that institutional powers to gradually push for more and more laws and more cops and more bans. Great! That disproves them! You did a good job. I'm so sure that is exactly not proving their point. Now that's unfortunate. Jester says, I woke up mid-surgery in pain and the doctor yelled at me to shut up and I was like, where am I? What surgery was that? Then I got into the car and I was trying to complain to my dad while I could hardly talk. Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. LeBarimer says, can we hear an unhinged rant about the EPA and the Department of Natural Resources? I feel like too many environmentalists think we need the government to save the environment. I think I would probably just make videos on that. Like, off the cuff, I could do some ranting, but I would really want that to be a real thorough series of videos about the failures of the EPA and the Department of Natural Resources. I feel like I could do a lot of content on that. But, like, one of the things that they do is they assist in regulatory capture. Like, if you want a fun thing to look into, just look up regulatory credits and realize that one of the only reasons Elon Musk gets to monopolize the way he does, even though he's terrible with money, is that he does what the government says, so they steal from other auto manufacturers to give money to him. And when they do that, basically they're saying, these other auto manufacturers, they didn't follow the law the way that we wanted them to, so they didn't build fucking carbon neutral blah blah the way that we said, so we're going to take their money and give it to you, Elon. Now, it's not like these companies are fucking shining examples of ethics, and I'm not even claiming that they even earned their money to begin with, but what I can definitely say is that Elon Musk is participating in fucking wealth redistribution, and his right-wing audience should be ashamed of him, but they aren't, because they like him being against the wokes, and that's all they care about. So, like, that's just one of many areas where the state is literally helping the right wing, and the EPA, the fucking environmental protection organizations in the US are all too happy to transfer wealth from one person to another, as long as they do what that organization says, no matter how bad he is for the environment otherwise. So, it's just one of many, many, many areas. Dead Boy says, the most I can assume they're talking about are people who take truthful information about past wrongs by the state, but then extend it to creating class conflict to justify state central planning. However, the reactionaryism from the right is often the same shift as from the other direction. Yeah, well, and so the thing is, like, if somebody is supporting the state, you have to ask why, and then you have to ask if the right is doing any less state support. If the right is supporting the state just as much as, the alleged left is, and if the alleged left is Democrats who do nothing but the right wing's bidding and act as Republicans, they're all right-wingers, They're all doing the same shit, and none of them are higher than any of the others. And, the Republicans aren't any better because they do the precise same bidding of the precise same megacorporations, but with Democrat approval. With Republican approval. I can't tell you how many anti-globalist, anti-WEF motherfuckers there are out there who are, totally okay with Elon Musk and his Lindy Yaccarino CEO from the literal WEF. Pick one. Pick one. Either you're anti-WEF or you support Elon Musk. You can't support Elon Musk and be anti-WEF. It doesn't work. He supports the WEF. He's on board with the WEF. The World Economic Forum is literally in bed with Elon Musk. And it's fucking hilarious how these people can simultaneously post videos of Klaus Schwab saying we have people in all aspects of government and business and all of this stuff, and then suddenly when you point out that, hey, this is one of those people, literal CEO of Twitter, telling the truth about how Twitter is actually going downhill, and that's why they're censoring more now. Just not the child porn, by the way, because that's still on the rise. And the UK literally fined Elon Musk because it's gotten worse since he got it. And because he gutted the team for child sexual abuse material by half. Fucking... They'll still support him, though. Because he's occasionally okay with boosting the opinions of white genocide people. Active Nazis. Fucking people making Mel Gibson jokes, which are actively anti-Jew. Fucking so many examples of him just boosting the worst of the worst people. And the most hilarious part of this is going to be when he has to step down as Twitter owner, or the whole thing fucking fails and somebody takes over and just gives all the reins to the WEF that weren't already given. And everybody acts like they're surprised, even though I've sensed this from the beginning. Because he gave people just enough leash, they're now going to be completely fucking destroyed with the new management. And there will be new management. Mark my fucking words. So, I'm tired of these people. I'm so tired. Jester says, wisdom tooth removal. They put me under, but I woke up and felt my teeth getting pulled. I started crying. I couldn't see anything but blurs, and he said something about you. If you don't stop crying. Yeah. Yeah. Dentists are some of the most hacked doctors. Like, it's easier to become a dentist than many other professions, and the even more qualified hygienists are often given the shaft because the dental industry relies on your teeth being bad. So if they just tell you how to take proper care of your teeth, they can't make as much money. It's a cartel. So, anyway, says I'm dropped to 2 concurrent viewers, so if you are in the chat, and YouTube is lying to me, sound off. As soon as I said that, it jumped to 4. Fuck you, YouTube. I see you, motherfucker. Dead Boy says, this whole situation reminds me of what Albert J. Nock called having a mindset akin to, quote, soldiers on the march, where there is no philosophical understanding but what sounds good to them in the moment. Yeah! Yeah! Just devoid of fucking principles. Jack says, they're all cartels, start your own. I neither endorse nor reject that proposition. Jester says, probably lying, TBH. Valor gives me 4 weird condom hand emojis. Yeah, I fucking... It's so obvious that so many of these industries are just bought. That, like, if you have an industry that's supposed to appeal to health or the environment or helping families or, you know, like, fucking defense is an offense department, or... Yeah, it's like condom hands. If you look at it, it kind of looks like just... It's either just a very inflated rubber glove, but bought by the powers that shouldn't be. Bought by international bankers, bought by the House of Saud, bought by the Vatican, bought by Russian oligarchs, bought by so many fucking people. I mean, I think I know what you're trying to get at, and no. Everybody has people in power and everybody's involved. But either way, the point is that, like, I'm done with all these people with no principles. I'm done with all these people who aren't willing to remain consistent, some of which aren't even fucking consistent to begin with. You know? And some of the most obvious shit with that is healthcare. Like people who claimed that they were on Team Science, but when Fauci actively admitted to lying to people about masks, they were just like, don't pay too close attention to that. When this mass, fucking peer-reviewed meta-study said that if you took ivermectin, it would, as a prophylactic, it would reduce your symptoms when you had it. Don't listen to them. When Joe Rogan said he threw everything in the kitchen sink at it, and he was cured relatively quickly, CNN made him greener. Don't look too hard at that. Just so many examples, yo. And if you just, continue looking into it, The polio vaccine was deadly. The Tuskegee syphilis experiment experimented on living people with, syphilis. Operation Sea Spray. They injected a bacteria into the fog over San Francisco and deliberately infected a ton of San Franciscan citizens. Like, one of them died. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to Unit, I think 731 was it? Don't pay attention to MKUltra or the Nazi scientists involved in American healthcare. Don't pay attention to the fact that Pfizer was the biggest fucking recipient of a fraud fucking charge. Don't pay any attention to the fact that a significant amount of people experienced complications after getting it. Don't pay any attention to the fact that these labs needed to be overseas to begin with because of the shady shit they were doing. Don't pay any attention to the fact that some of them were, like, the biolabs that were connected to the US were in Ukraine. Don't pay any attention to the fact that the industry for a long time has been co-opted by, like, groups of people who will outright reject papers that don't conform to their biases in the name of peer review. But those papers will later be, like, vindicated. Don't pay any attention to the fact that you can get a paper published for money and not because it's scientifically sound. Don't pay any attention to the fact that it's like a multi-billion-dollar annual industry. Don't look into the charge master like that hospitals have to like artificially jack up the prices of everything. Don't look into the corrupt insurance like companies and the fact that they will literally force doctors under gag order to, like, not fucking disclose that they're charging customers too much, and that they could get a generic version for much cheaper, but, like, all that extra money goes directly to the insurance companies. Don't pay any attention to the fact that a significant amount of fucking healthcare is directly controlled by several major corporations, and that we would consider this monopolistic practices in any other case. Don't pay any attention to the fact that the FDA is a revolving door of people that are regulated by it and people that fund the regulations. Don't pay any attention to the fact that this has been effectively a cartel for a long time. Don't pay attention to the fact that if this was any other industry, we would be able to question it implicitly. Don't pay any attention to all the environmental catastrophes that are the result of their experimentation. And, like, don't pay any attention to the fact that there were a bunch of useless masks littered all over the place because of policies that shouldn't have even existed to begin with. Don't pay any attention to the fact that that was all, like, connected to the next global surveillance superstate. Don't pay any attention to the fact that these medical apps are also conveniently connected to your ID, which could also be conveniently connected to CBDC. Don't pay any attention to the fact that censorship is still happening because of it. Don't pay any attention to any fact that doesn't conform to the biases of those in charge. Just shut up. Shut the fuck up, citizen. Mind your fucking business. Your business is working for us or being one of the numbers in our charity and welfare rolls. Knuckle under while your jobs increasingly automate, accept the new surveillance state, be a fucking clone, live in the pods, eat the bugs, own nothing, be happy, smile, and suck the Great Reset off like it's gonna reset your life. 'Cause it is. I'm not a fucking asshole. You are. Jack Curtis says, pay attention to the football games. Yeah, pretty much. Dead Boy says, which is why it often amuses me to see how no matter how much the mainstream party's platforms and ideas sound more and more identical, they seem to think the dividing line between lib and con is the parties. Yeah! When all the parties are bought and paid for by the same people. When Joe Biden, like, is affiliated with Pfizer, and, like, his son is affiliated with Ukrainian biolabs, and when Donald Trump has Johnson & fucking Johnson CEO on his stage. Nah, the Republicans, the anti-wokes, those are the real anti-pharma people, despite MAGA, like, rallying behind Trump. Despite rallying behind Vivek Ramaswamy, a pharma bro who, conveniently, wants a surveillance state, wants a COVID database, said this to everybody, and who got a Soros-linked scholarship and tried to pay off Wikipedia editors to keep it quiet. Those are your Republican saviors, bootlickers. Them. The same big pharma-linked cucks that put you here. But since he doesn't like trans people in sports, he's okay with you. You fucking hacks. God, I hate these people. These people are so fucking sold out. Deadboy says, yeah, if people think the government justification of public health to mass tyranny had good outcomes, boy, is the brainwashing super strong. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Jack says, education trumps healthcare. Propaganda is a form of education. Well, it's a form. It's certainly an effective form. I prefer self-education all the time. I read literal, like, multiple science papers a day. And I do it because I use this little speed reading thing called Spreed. And you just focus on a line and it screws the information into your skull. It's great. I recommend getting an app that has Spreed enabled. Because if you read science papers every day like me, you might also become a paranoid nerd. So. Also, hello to the 5 concurrent viewers. Welcome to the shit show. If there's anything you want to talk about, feel free to post it in the chat, and I will respond. Yeah, I made this a little earlier. This is fucking turkey, beans, cheese, rice. Thanksgiving, but also healthy. And I'm having it with a nice serving of bones. Deadboy says, this is why I laugh when state apologists claim without government there would be chaos. As if the last few years haven't been chaos. As if pandemic of the unvaccinated wasn't provoked by the state. Yeah. Yeah, and like, here's the other half of that. The other half of that is that, like, they literally fucking say Ordo ab Chao. They literally say Ordo ab Chao. How can you listen to these people, these motherfuckers, these elite connected bastards, all these people connected to the Bilderberg group, the WEF, Skull and Bones, all these ancient fucking Freemason connected fucking old money bloodline bullshit, fucking Queen of England president bloodline fucking, all these fucks connected to the same bullshit. How can you listen to them say Ordo ab Chao, order out of chaos, and then deny that we are in a problem reaction solution model? You can't if you're honest, but most of these people are lying scum! So, yeah, I'm a little angry about that. You know, this is chaos. They create more chaos than could possibly exist without them. They create chaos where it wouldn't otherwise exist. Because if there is chaos, they can control the outcome. They are chaos. They're just not the chaos that can be used in a good way. That's the thing. They don't want us to do chaos control. They want the emeralds. That's why we gotta be better freedom fighters, motherfuckers. and get out there and smash some badniks. Straight up. It's endlessly frustrating that this isn't better understood. It should be. Especially in alleged truth circles that are, like, trying to fight the Matrix. Newsflash, cunt sucker, it is not fighting the Matrix just because you support Andrew Tate. In fact, that is supporting the Matrix. That's what my next video is going to be on. You think that if you just ignore the fact that he said that he met a 15-year-old, already wanted to fuck her, waited 2 years building a sexual relationship with her, flying her out to where he was so that he could fuck her, take her virginity, and then put her as bottom bitch in his pimp business? You think that means you're fighting the Matrix, you Jeffrey Epstein wannabe little bitch boy? You ain't alpha. You ain't top G. You're listening to a con man and getting conned, you little punk. I'm 150 fucking degrees of pissed at you, bitch. Let me get a few mouthfuls of food before I start a rant on sprawl. Dead boy wants a sprawl rant. And the best part is, fucking losers on Twitter, Facebook, and elsewhere claiming my food doesn't look good. Well, hey, it pleased my entire household. And some people came back for more. My food is fucking excellent. You know who you are a bitch-ass little predator-defending loser. So, sprawl. They've robbed us of our sense of community. The state has forced us into an increasingly industrialized environment where the productivity gap has allowed the people at the top to make more and more money while the people at the bottom make less and less and are increasingly outmoded and forced into gig labor. Things are increasingly more and more expensive, especially the closer you get to the inside of cities, where the least paying work it often is. Thus meaning that in order to get cheaper housing, you oftentimes have to go further away from the centers of cities, meaning more environment destroyed, more resources absorbed and permanently fucked, more places like ramped up in terms of like pollution, more, corruption, more police, more surveillance, more like mining done in more places that aren't even urban because you need the resources from somewhere, more production in other places, more shit flown to more places so that you can build more of these roads so that you can ship more of this shit. So that you can have your trains cutting up hillsides, cutting up huge chunks of land, so that you can have your fucking semi-trucks on fucking freeways that are constantly crumbling, burning out, and getting otherwise fucked, especially during weather. Earthquakes. Anything. It's like God is mad at you and you still haven't shut the fuck up. And all of this, while increasingly more of this resource, means that the further people are away, because the more limited houses are in the inner, closer to the inner areas of a city, not just inner cities, but just the inner areas in general, you have to have more transportation, more gas spent on more vehicles, more resources spent to get those vehicles, more reliance on oil, and then oil starts to run out, so you start to have to mine lithium and cobalt and all this shit so that you can get electric vehicles, more places cut up so that you can build more charging stations for your electric vehicles, more satellites so that you can have your electric vehicles constantly monitored by Elon Musk, which is something conservatives are like, yeah, I'll take that cock right down my throat. Fuck me, Elon. They'll do that right away. And all of this in service of getting, like, to a destination that you have to work at most of the day so that you can come back and have barely any time at the end of that day, so that you can barely spend any time doing anything you actually like, and so that you can then, you know, go to sleep, maybe get drunk on alcohol, go to a party, wake up with a regrettably low amount of energy and, like, power, you know, all of this for the furtherance of the, like, general super state, while things get increasingly harder to produce, increasingly, like, you know, fucking scarce, increasingly fucking lower paying work with increasingly more expensive goods, increasingly more expensive housing. And if you didn't get in on housing during a crash, which will guaranteeably happen again because we're on an unsustainable economic system, you're fucked, because you will eventually be fucked out of any possibility of ever owning a home ever, or a car, or any of these things that the boomers got, because they didn't give a fucking shit about the environment, and they fucked a lot of things up for the common person. So, like, the fact that their kids are going to grow up in a terrible environment that's burnt out, bombed out, suffocated by smoke and poison and fucking all this cancerous garbage, that doesn't matter. You can just move out to a further away area and commute so that you can spend even more of your limited lifespan grinding away for the machine. And all of this so that we can continue to power a state-backed system and pretend that this is the way it always has been and always should be. Pretend that the reason we need so much healthcare isn't because this society is making us fundamentally unsick, so that we can then claim, unwell and sick, so we can then claim that all of this means that we are, like, you know, on the right track. You know, no, we're not. That this is the result of freedom in the free market. No, it isn't. It never was. And all of this, while things get, like, further and further away from your community, and you wonder why you're isolated. You wonder why you're stuck on your fucking VR setup, or stuck making AI art because you never learned how to make art, because your community and your soul and your fucking life essence has been robbed from you. You don't have time to learn a skill like that. So just trust our machines. They'll tell you what to think. They'll tell you how to be. They'll tell you who to trust, what to appreciate. They'll make your art for you. You don't need a community. You don't need humanity. You don't need a shared struggle. You don't need connection. You don't need your neighbor. You can hate your neighbor. You can snitch on your neighbor. You can tell your neighbor to go fuck themselves very easily online from the comfort of your couch, saying things that you would never say to their face. You don't need community. You don't need nature. You don't need any of this. Just put on that fucking headset, get myopic and nice and comfortable in your fucking machine, plug into the Matrix, tune in, drop out. Plain and simple. That's the cancer of sprawl. It forces us so far apart and destroys so much of the world that we don't want to be in it badly enough to form that sense of connection on our own. Their addiction is high. Crime isn't eliminated. Even though it's taken a trough, the only reason it's taken a trough is because people are spending an increasing amount of their time doing fucking nothing with their lives. And being afraid of everything. And, you know, they say crime is on the downslope, but they are increasingly unable to even prosecute or record anything. So that's probably not even true. It's probably higher than ever. It's probably higher than ever, and they just have no fucking idea and no willingness or interest in getting an idea. Crime is probably off the fucking charts, and they probably are the reason it is. The state simultaneously causing the problem, creating the chaos, and then not even cleaning it up. So they have you afraid. They have you afraid of viruses or gangs or fucking LGBT people, or on the other side of the spectrum, whites and Christians, and They just want us divided. They want us against each other. They want us at each other's throats. They want us forever fucking locked in struggle so that we cannot point our barrels upward to the top of the towers that they rule us from. And we are going to die in this hell if we do not reverse it. But a lot of conservatives who are all about trad, those people are all too happy to claim that cities that are smaller and more walkable and more communitarian are just somehow leftist and somehow just, you know, a control matrix addendum. And it's like, no, in fact, the control matrix is literally built by the fact that the state and its corporate allies and banking partners have monopolized yet more and more and more of the land and more and more of the territory and more more of the resources in the name of urban sprawl, making their metropolises bigger than ever, and telling you that unless you do what you're told, you're frozen the fuck out of it, sheep. Get back in line, prole, or we'll lock you up in a smaller cage. How's that for a rant? Dead Boy says, correct. Matter of fact, areas with less mandatory parking minimums, zoning restrictions, land use regulations, and the like prove much more fruitful results economically for the reasons you mentioned. Local businesses able to prosper, kids freely playing outside, people actually hanging out with their neighbors after work at their local cafes, etc. Translation, if the left likes something, it must be bad, SMH. Yeah, basically. So, hope that was the rant you were looking for. And if y'all like this rant, feel free to share this stream. Tell people, yeah, if you want to hear some guy being schizo over fucking YouTube, feel free to tune in. Somebody named Dave Hemprich Bennett says, as a bat biologist, I just want to give a shout out to bats, who for years we've been saying are super sophisticated at dodging one another and flying in synchrony. Now that we've used high-speed cameras on them, turns out they crash into each other all the time. Bats are cool. But yeah, I'm about 8 minutes up, actually 7.5 out from ending the stream for the week. I do this every week, though. If you like this, feel free to tune in every week, and you'll be able to hear me rant and rave about shit like that. And there's going to be actual content this week. There was content. I was on a Twitter space, which, by the way, if you want me in your Twitter space, feel free to hit me up. And that went about as well as you can expect. And I was also fucking in that 3-hour stream about Javier Milei. So feel free to check that out as well. And I will be in your stream if you want. But, I'm an evil person. Don't have me on your show. Accept everything everybody says about me, and definitely keep me frozen out and blacklisted. That's what the state wants, so you should do it. Dead Boy says, I can never understand why some think that the way cities have been built for thousands of years is somehow too antiquated to work in the U.S. Yeah, and these same motherfuckers are all too happy to say that they're trad, while supporting the opposite and claiming that something that actually looks trad is worse. And then they'll grift about it, like the Art of Purpose, claiming that for some reason we should accept the modern capitalist order and suck off people like Elon Musk, who are all about that urban sprawl. And at the same time, he talks about this and says, oh, this is how societies used to look. This is how they look now. And he's often just lying. The Art of Purpose is a lying conman account that sells courses. But he gets support, because the right does not mind lying conman accounts that sell courses while preying on their insecurities, Because that's what Andrew Tate does, and right-wingers love Andrew Tate. The Art of Purpose can get a community notes fucking violation every fucking 2 minutes. But they're still fucking considered great by people. People will still share their dumb fuck screenshots because they don't need facts. They don't need reality. They just need it to tingle their cock a little. Plain and simple. Either way, though, and honestly, you know what I should do? I should take some of these rants and take, like, the concentrated rant about a given subject and just post it to Facebook. Because Facebook is still the only platform to monetize me. So every time somebody likes or shares something I post, I get money. So, you know, even though I've mocked Facebook and gone against them harder than any other social media, for some reason they're giving me money now. So, I should do that. And if anybody likes what I'm saying here, they can share it there as well. Dead Boy says, like, these fools can easily pull up pictures of ancient Pompeii or Rome to know that this is BS. Yeah. And the worst part is, a lot of these people are fucking moronic pseudo-conspiracy theorists who don't care about theory at all. And they'll just make shit up. Like, we were ruled by giants. And they'll post, like, pictures of giant steps. But those are terrace gardens, bitch. Leading to small houses. You know? Or they'll say, oh, how could these rocks have been moved by normal humans? Blah, blah, blah. Because there was sand, and they rolled them, and they used physics. Oh, I did not see your message, Jester. Apologies. She said, I'm sleepy, so I'm gonna hop off stream. Good night. Be well. I did not see that, so. Anyway, plenty more like this coming. Plenty more like this on my channel. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, etc. Probably going to end it a little sooner than that, actually. Because it appears to be sort of dying down. Either way, here's to a profitable and productive week. Lots coming. Smash the fucking state. Either way. Oh, I'll answer this. Do people really not think it's a good idea to have affordable homes, grocery stores, cafes, hospitals, and churches all close by? Unfortunately, no. And if they did, they'd be more like totally on board with two concepts. Food not bombs and food not lawns. Grow your own stuff and try to be as like productive on your own as possible, and then give that to those who need it, rather than supporting the military-industrial complex by saying that the state should handle welfare. Easy as. Two easy fixes that they don't want you to know about. Anyway. So, engage in that. Actually redevelop your sense of community like your life depends on it, because it literally fucking does. Smash the fucking state.